I've been a fan of Naruto since I've been a kid, and I grew up with the show. Naruto means a lot to me, and recently I asked myself, what was the whole point of Naruto? I watched all of the original Naruto and I watched a good part of the 500 episodes of Naruto Shippuden. After all that, what was the point? When I ask myself that question, I'm not asking if I wasted my time. No, not at all. My time was well spent watching this amazing series. What I am asking, however, is what was the moral of the story? What was the lesson? What was the point? Most writers that start their stories have a theme or a lesson that you learn by watching. I learned a lot of life lessons by watching Naruto, and I know a lot of people did as well. I mean, all you have to do is Google Naruto life lessons and a bunch of stuff comes up. This series has meant a lot to a lot of people. However, is there one main theme that we learned? Is there one main lesson that the author of Naruto wanted to tell us? There is a YouTube video called In Defense of Talk No Jutsu, Hope and Hypocrisy in Naruto by MathWiz, and I think that is the best Naruto video on YouTube. And that one explains some of the morals and lessons from this show very well. If you watch that video, it seems like coming to understanding our own hypocrisy is one of the main themes or lessons in Naruto. There might not be a main theme or main lesson from the whole of Naruto, but I found one scene that I believe sums up the series very well. This scene answers a question that was first asked all the way back to the first arc of Naruto. That question is, what is a shinobi? What is a ninja? Let me show you this scene in its entirety and then we'll talk about it. To give you some context, Naruto and Sasuke have already fought their final battle in the Valley of the End. Both of them have lost an arm and Sasuke is on his way to leave the village when this happens.
I didn't think that you'd be coming to see me off. You still had this thing? You stopped me as a friend, even at the cost of your head. And I was saved thanks to you. We were insignificant little things so used to clash. And now we're able to share each other's pain. And after journeying long and seeing the world, I've realized something. This isn't just about you and me. I believe this concept can be applied to even bigger things than just us. But it's not something that can be done as easily as you were able to. I never assumed it would be simple. Just like it wasn't with the two of us. Especially with something so big.
I'm giving this.
Yeah, alright, sure. I'll hang on to it. It's kind of like a prayer. To keep enduring until it comes to be, no matter what. And to those upon whom that task falls, perhaps that's what it means to be a ninja.
So when I first watched this scene, I thought it was cool that Sasuke got his headband back, but I didn't think much of it. I didn't think it was a big deal or anything. However, after asking myself, what was the point of this show? What was the main theme or lesson? This is the scene that answers those questions. To explain how I came to that conclusion, let's talk about this scene line by line.
You stopped me as a friend, even at the cost of your head. And I was saved thanks to you.
I think this is self-explanatory. Naruto risked it all to save Sasuke from the darkness and it cost him an arm. But it was all worth it because Naruto was finally able to save his friend.
We were insignificant little things so used to clash. And now we're able to share each other's pain.
Naruto and Sasuke used to fight and bicker back when they were both on Team 7 in the original Naruto. When Sasuke is talking about sharing each other's pain, he is referring back to what Naruto told him at the Valley of the End. Sasuke asked Naruto what does he mean by friend, and Naruto's response was this. Even if you were to ask me to explain it, I honestly don't think I'd really have an answer. It's just, when I see you carrying that burden and going on about everything the way you do, somehow, I just hurt. Naruto was basically telling Sasuke that he shared his pain. So now Sasuke is here reiterating what Naruto had told him prior in that fight. Both of them can feel each other's pain now. Sasuke continues his speech with this.
And after journeying long and seeing the world, I've realized something. This isn't just about you and me. I believe this concept can be applied to even bigger things than just us.
The concept that he is talking about is feeling each other's pain. In other words, he's talking about empathy. To truly feel empathy for someone else has been realized by both Naruto and Sasuke with each other. Sasuke realizes that this empathy or sharing of pain can also be shared with not just them, but other people as well. People bigger than them. The whole world.
But it's not something that can be done as easily as you were able to. I never assumed it would be simple. Just like it wasn't with the two of us. Especially with something so big.
This sharing of pain or empathy between Naruto and Sasuke was difficult to produce. The concept of empathy came easy to Naruto but not for Sasuke, and it definitely won't come easy to everyone else in the world.
It's kind of like a prayer, to keep enduring until it comes to be, no matter what. And to those upon whom that task falls, perhaps that's what it means to be a ninja.
Sasuke explains a prayer very well. A prayer is to keep enduring until it comes to be, no matter what. In order for us to realize this concept of empathy and sharing each other's pain, we have to keep enduring until it comes to be, no matter what. This is exactly what Naruto did throughout the whole show. He endured, he endured, he endured, he endured some more, he kept enduring, and he endured until finally, Naruto and Sasuke were able to share each other's pain and empathize with each other. It's interesting to me that Sasuke is the one to answer this question. He was the same person that asked this same question to the previous Hokage. He asked them, what is a village? What is a shinobi? What is a ninja? He was the one who didn't have the answer, but after fighting Naruto, he now has the answer, in the same way that we, the audience, have realized it. A ninja is someone who is tasked to endure until the sharing of pain comes to be, no matter what. You might as well replace the word ninja with person, and you get the main lesson, the main theme of Naruto. It's our task as people to endure until we can empathize and share each other's pain. We must endure it no matter what until it comes to be. Wow. Just wow. This is an amazing lesson to this incredible show. You can apply this lesson to anyone in any career or stage of life, whether it's in business, politics, or just general relationships with your family, friends, and significant other. To me, this is the most important scene in all of Naruto. This is the scene that the whole show has been leading up to. I believe this is the scene that the author of Naruto wanted to put in the story way back on chapter 1. This scene takes part in the second to last chapter of the manga. I always thought about the final chapter, chapter 700, as an epilogue, since all of the characters are grown up already. And this scene, in chapter 699, to me, is the final chapter of what we know as Naruto. And since this scene takes place as the last scene of chapter 699, what I just showed you is the final scene of Naruto. Not technically, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And this scene is also the most important. And since we're talking about the manga, let's go over the manga version of this speech as well. There's not a lot of differences, but I do think it's very interesting to see what the anime changed or didn't change. So here it is. Sasuke is leaving the village. He comes up to Naruto. I didn't think you'd come. You're still at this. As my friend, you fought to stop me. to the point that you lost an arm, and thanks to you, I was saved. We, who used to quibble and fight over every little thing, that's a little different. In the manga version, they say quibble, are now able to share the pain in each other's heart. In other words, empathy. During my journey around the world, I thought to myself that this feeling might not exist just between us, but it might apply to even more things, bigger, greater things. I like how the words are used here in the manga version. I think this part it was done better in the manga version than the anime version. But not everyone is able to do the things you can, and it probably won't always go as planned either. Just look at how we turned out, and with bigger things, it'll only get harder. Once again, it's slightly different than the manga version, and once again, I prefer the manga version in this little section. I'm returning this. I'll hold on to this until we finally really settle things between us. The anime version talks about a final fight, and in the manga version, Sasuke is just talking about settling things for good. I'm not sure if that difference was better in either of the versions, but the difference is there. I think it's a lot like faith, so it's not prayer. In the anime version, it was prayer. In the manga version, he's saying it's a lot like faith. To keep believing, trying, and enduring until you finally become able, because people entrust us to their hopes and rely on us to carry on. Perhaps that is what makes us ninjas. So the manga version is slightly different in the wording. I think both versions are satisfactory for what the message is trying to convey. Neither is better than the other, they're just slightly different. I mean, what do you think? Do you think the anime version did it better, or do you think the manga version did it better? Do you think that this scene was the most important scene in all of Naruto? Like, that is a huge statement, but I think this scene perfectly conveys what the author of Naruto wanted to tell us since chapter 1. That's my opinion. I want to hear yours. Let me know what you think in the comments below.